You're going to be.
Oh my,
he
just broke my window!
Do not.
He just broke my
Do
window!
not roll that window up.
He just broke my window. Somebody bring a cop here now!
Do
now!
I'm beyond what's going on. Yeah, let go of your hands real quick. I'm trying to fix your hands.
But if you take it, that just means I'm gonna sue you.
1,000%.
I'm gonna just reach in my briefcase. I've already got a lawsuit against.
There is a line cops should never cross, but some do. They cross it hard. Today's story is about dirty cops who realize their badge won't save them when they're caught abusing their power. But instead of backing down, the people they targeted stood their ground and fought back with facts, rights, and courage. What happened next? You'll want to see it for yourself. Let's get into it.
Make you feel safe, but I am not the guy you are looking for.
What's your first name?
I don't need to tell you my name. Who are you
Keith,
looking
right?
for?
Okay.
Wrong.
Is it? Okay.
Wrong.
Cops responded to a call after a brick was thrown at a car, allegedly by Keith Howard. When they arrived at Keith's house, he denied being involved, but a missing brick from his porch matched the damage to the car. At this point, it might seem like the police are just doing their job, but trust me, things are about to show just how unprofessional they really are. Let's start with what happened in front of Keith's house.
Sir, okay, what's going on today?
Don't.
No, I'm here because you threw a.
She called 4 nights ago because of that, and you didn't even stop by.
I wasn't working, so I don't know what you're talking
you were
about.
Here, actually.
No, I wasn't. I could. What? Can I have you come out and speak with me on why you threw a brick at someone's car?
I did not
Sir,
throw bricks at anybody's car.
Okay, then how does he have a brick in his car then?
I don't know. I didn't do that.
He's stating you're the one that did it.
I understand that. I'm the one. He knows me now.
He drove by.
He sped by.
Okay.
I said slow down, so he backed up and screamed at me, and that's the end of it. That's all that happened.
So then how does he have a brick in his grill? And he's
know.
stating you're the one that threw the brick.
The cops didn't show up to investigate, they showed up to accuse. They ignored the timeline, skipped over due process, and tried to drag a confession out of a man who was clearly confused. Keith said he didn't throw a brick, but that wasn't the answer the cop wanted. So the questions kept coming, louder, messier, and more aggressive. And just wait, this officer hasn't even started abusing his power.
So I went back by again.
Can I have you? What?
He's the aggressor. I didn't do anything with that. I didn't know.
Okay. How is he
I don't know.
the aggressor
I don't know.
when
Ask
he was
him.
just driving by?
70 down to 35? Or 25? That's how he's the aggressor. Does that make sense to you?
No.
No, 75 down to 35 doesn't make sense to you.
Okay, but I'm trying
Okay,
to.
but
So that makes
I
it
did
right
not-
for
no,
you
I
to
did
throw
not do
a
that.
brick at him?
No, I did not do that.
Okay, do you have ID? Can I,
No, I don't
can
have
you?
a wallet. I lost my ID. I don't have it. My name is Keith Howard. I didn't do
Go ahead.
that. Keith Howard, 316-74.
When Keith mentioned a cancer patient inside, the cop didn't even blink. No empathy, no pause, just cold focus on forcing control. Keith asked for help before, but the cops only showed up when they needed someone to blame. Then came the flashlight, a petty power move disguised as procedure. Keith pushed back, and that was all the cop needed to get irritated.
326 South Alabama. I have the suspect here.
They show up when somebody else.
Okay.
Would you like to come in and talk to the cancer patient that's here?
I don't have them secure. It's
Please, ma'am.
326 South Alabama. I'm sorry?
Would you like to come in and talk to the cancer patient that suffers with this every day? Or no?
Okay, I'm trying to go about what's happening today, though.
I know. And you have no clue. It happens every day.
That people
People
speed?
speed through
Okay.
here, and I've asked for you to come, and I've asked for you to come, and I've asked for you to come, and one cop drives through. That's it.
Okay.
Stop shining that at my face.
I'm not
see
shining,
you,
I'm
okay?
shining
Well,
it at
you
the
are, and I'm not doing it anymore.
I'm shining it at the stairs so I could see who you are.
afraid of who I am. Stop shining my face.
I'm not
See
shining
anything.
your face, sir.
Keith probably did it, let's be honest, but the way these officers handled it made the truth irrelevant. They didn't ask the right questions, didn't test the story, and didn't even care who actually committed the crime. They were just rushing toward the easiest conclusion, and soon you'll see just how badly their failure to investigate ends up blowing back.
Do you have an ID on you?
Not shining in my face.
I'm not shining. What am I shining in your face? Can I get your information, sir?
I just told you.
Power.
No, she can't listen.
You keep walking away, so I can't get your information. Okay, whatever. Are you wanting to press charges?
I mean, I was filling out the guy's name right here because I'm like,
Okay, it's up to you on what you want to do.
I really don't know what to do.
The female officer left Keith's house and went straight to the driver, not to investigate but to speed things up. She looked like she wanted the whole thing over with. Not solved, just over. Instead of asking real questions, she pushed the decision onto the victim, like jail was just one of several casual options. Her job was to find the truth, but soon you'll see how badly that truth got buried.
If you want, we could do a report documenting it. Either way, it's going to be documented, or I don't know if you want to pursue charges against him or not.
I mean, what would that do?
I mean, he could go to jail for it. It's 100% up to you.
Yeah, can I step out and look at it real quick?
Of course, yeah.
Just like,
Because he's being a little frustrating.
it's a whole fucking...
If you just don't touch it for me, but
Of course it did.
so it's 100% up to you. I just want to get, it was when you were driving by his property.
Yeah, I was coming up the road, and he was standing in the middle of the road.
The driver admitted he turned around out of anger and confronted Keith in the street. That should have raised questions, but the officer didn't care. She let a furious witness narrate the entire event like a rant, then circled back to the same lazy offer. Do you want to press charges? No follow-up, no challenge, just a green light. And with that, the real mistake was officially set in motion.
And I looked at it, and I turned around, I was like, what the is your problem? I said just like that, I was like, what the is your problem? Because
Okay.
I almost hit him. And and so when I turned around, and I came because I was pissed. I came back and say a few words. And I turned back around to come back to leave, and he tossed the brick in front of my car, and that's what happened.
Okay.
Because I'm like, why are you standing in the middle of the road, bro? I was like, I almost hit you, man.
Okay. So again,
Because I guess a car must have came. The only reason I can think of why he was in the middle of the road, the car must have came like before me. Because when I came up the street, he was already like this. Yeah.
So it's up to you if you want to pursue charges or not.
Yeah, hell yeah, I got press charges, man. Because
Okay.
my insurance is going to want me to do something.
Okay. Are you willing
That's
to?
2023 $60,000 truck.
Right.
The officer openly admitted she found Keith by matching a loose brick to one in his yard, like that counted as evidence. No eyewitness confirmation, no timeline, just a visual guess, treated like a forensics breakthrough. And while the driver scribbled out a report, they went back to arrest Keith. But don't worry, their sloppiest and most reckless decision is still coming.
Are you willing to write me a statement stating like basically what you just told me in statement form?
Yeah, the only reason why I even found the house was because I matched the brick with the brick that was in front of his yard.
Right. Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna grab that information for you, and then I'm gonna have you start filling that out. And then, is the car registered to you?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Or they went someplace and got rid of them and then back. But that's what they do. They go up and down here
Okay.
selling drugs out of their car. And I didn't want him to yell at them, but sometimes they'll yell at them and say, slow down, because they're going like 60 or 70 down the street. They don't,
Where is Keith at?
I don't know if he went out back or not. I can't get out.
Okay.
I don't know.
Keith had already slipped away, and instead of securing the scene, the officers just asked for a vague description: dark jacket, jeans, and glasses. They didn't call it in, didn't lock the area down, didn't even seem concerned. It was as if getting the details was just for show. But soon you'll see, even with that description in hand, they still managed to arrest the wrong man.
I don't know if he's in his room in the very back of the house. It's not his room, but I need care. I have some guy in the wrong key.
Okay.
So sometimes,
His name is Keith, right?
Yeah.
Keith!
is he back there?
Does he have any weapons in the house? Anything?
No weapons. No, I don't think so.
Where?
Not that I know. Go straight to the back door. There's a room to the left.
Keith?
They got a description: white male, late 40s, glasses, ponytail. The witness swore he could identify him again, said he'd seen him moments before. The officer acted like the case was closed, even bragged about catching him off guard, but this overconfidence wasn't backed by evidence, just assumptions. And when you see who they actually arrested, you'll realize just how little that description really meant.
Like a dark jacket and jeans, and he has glasses on, and it's like a ponytail-ish thing he has going on.
White guy or black?
White guy, white male.
I'm gonna pull up a David picture.
Probably like
He has
late
gray hair,
40s.
so-
Yeah,
So young.
yeah, very young.
If you saw this guy again, would you be able to recognize him?
Yeah.
He was right there, and I was trying to talk to him.
He's sitting right there right now.
He left. As soon as I came over to talk to you, because he was not, he kept on walking back and forth, and I was like, can you come out and talk to me? And he wouldn't. So I was waiting for a second unit.
He literally was sitting, he was hoping to God I wouldn't find that house, because he was sitting on the porch on his phone. Yeah. And when I pulled up and I was on the phone with the operator on dispatch, and they were like, I was like, yeah, he's sitting right here. I just see him cut his phone off the brick in the yard.
Right.
They found a missing brick, called it evidence. Never mind it was a different color or that Keith wasn't there to defend himself. The officer was already planning charges and a warrant, not because they had proof, but because they wanted to wrap it up. They took silence as guilt, a loose brick as fact, and that blind certainty is about to lead them straight into a major mistake.
That's his vehicle.
Okay. Yeah, and I think I found where to pick up the brick at.
Right.
So if you look, if you go to the front door on the right side, you'll see like the line of bricks.
Right. Okay.
That's how, exactly.
Okay. Yes, I'm gonna go take a picture of that then.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. It's kind of different color than the other bricks, but.
Okay.
She tried calling him. He's not answering his phone.
Okay. He took off, so we're gonna do. I'm gonna see if I can find him tonight. Okay. If not, the worst thing that will happen is we'll have to just send in an affidavit stating that we want to press charges, and they'll do a warrant for his arrest.
Okay.
Alrighty. I'm gonna grab the brick real quick.
Okay.
They thought they found Keith, or at least someone who looked like him. That was enough. No questions, no confirmation, just immediate detention based on vague similarities. The man denied being Keith, but that didn't slow them down. To these officers, matching the description meant guilt. But what's coming next will expose just how reckless that assumption really was and how easily the wrong man ended up in handcuffs.
Right. Oh. Okay, I think that they may have found him. Would you be willing to do a show up for us if we believe we have him? Okay.
So basically what we'll be doing is we'll put you in her car, and then we'll drive by him, and then you'll just let us know if it's him or not.
I've done it before.
Perfect.
Alrighty, well, you're being detained right now. You're being detained right now, okay? Can you please take your hands out of your pocket?
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Here comes. Make you feel safe, but I am not the guy you're looking for.
What's your first name?
I don't need to tell you my name. Who you
Keith, right? Okay.
Wrong.
Is it? Okay.
Wrong.
Well, you match the description of the subject, okay?
They had no proof, just a hunch. They called it reasonable suspicion. The man didn't want to hand over his ID, which was his right, but that only made them more aggressive. Suddenly, refusal to comply became interfering with the investigation. The threat started, the pressure kicked in, and the assumption of guilt took over. And the worst part? They were harassing a man who wasn't even Keith.
And same hair and everything, the description of your clothing, okay? So I just have to ask you a few questions, okay?
And that, you didn't even stop by.
I wasn't working, so I don't know what you're talking
you were
about.
Here, actually.
No, I wasn't. I could. What?
Do you have an ID with you by any chance?
Our victim's going to do is show up, so make sure
No?
whenever possible.
You want me to give you my license number?
Hey,
No, I don't want to give you my license number.
Well, you're detained because I have reasonable suspicion to believe that you committed a crime, okay?
Did you? This is great.
Yep. So where are you headed to?
Home.
Where's home?
I don't need to tell you that.
Okay. He doesn't want to identify himself. So.
Well, you have to identify
Yeah.
yourself. Now you're impeding the investigation. So if you want to go straight to jail, then keep it up.
They knew this wasn't Keith, but they kept pushing anyway. No explanation, no respect, just commands barked at a confused man named Jerry. He offered his ID too late for their taste, because by then they had already decided to make an example out of him. And instead of owning up to their mistake, they doubled down. What they charged him with next will show just how far they were willing to lie.
Do you have what up? Do you have ID on you?
No.
What's your name?
I am totally not good with this.
All right, you're being detained for now, okay?
I'll give you my license number.
Not too late.
We're beyond that.
I'm beyond what's going on.
Yeah, let go of your hands real quick. I'm trying to fix your handcuffs.
This is unreal. That is on its
Go back to 12. Thank you.
Ah, it's a little heavy, buddy.
Well, I'm trying to take it off so I can fix it.
Jerry was in pain, struggling with the cuffs, and still they acted like they were doing him a favor. Adjusting the restraints didn't change the fact that he shouldn't have been in them to begin with. They moved him into position for a show-up, casually arranging lights and angles like it was all routine, but watch closely, because they're about to turn this humiliating mistake into something even worse.
Ah, even harder.
Hold on. I have to get it out, so...
Been doing this much lately? Ah, shit! That really, really hurt. Can you help this man out with whatever he's trying to do to me?
Here, turn your hand, turn your wrist.
Turn my wrist this way.
There you go.
That's much better, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to fix it up for you.
Oh, yeah. How long have you been doing, buddy?
You should have a pretty clear shot. Copy.
All right, let's go over here. Hey, where is she gonna come through? Through Woodland or?
I just told her to come down Euclid and then come up Woodland.
Okay,
And then
I'll put him over here.
Put him right here. Clark, can you put your turn your flashes off and your cruisers on just so that way the flashing lights don't.
All right, we're just gonna stand right here.
So somebody can ID me?
Yep.
They hid behind protocol while cuffing a man who lived 100 feet away and had never caused trouble in 13 years. Jerry begged them to realize their mistake, but they brushed it off, claiming it would all work out unless, of course, it didn't. The officer even joked about perjury charges, like justice was some courtroom game. But don't worry, they're about to double down in a way that's even more unforgivable.
Well, you refused to get ID.
No, I didn't really want to. I've lived in the same apartment 100 feet from here for 13 years. I've never had a problem like this in my life. I'm beyond this. I'm going to go through the duration with whatever you guys are doing. I'm coming from that way. I don't know where you guys think whatever happened.
You match the description of someone we're looking
And I'm
for.
running with you guys, but this is pretty heavy, man.
I got you. This is a standard protocol for us. If we take them by and they say it's not you, then you get let out of handcuffs.
I hope they claim it is me, because they are getting a wrongful death coming right at me with the best of attorneys. That's coming right at me and coming right at you. And I look forward to her trying. I said wrong.
I might have misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
I'm sure I'm on. Huh? I said what?
You said wrongful death.
I'm sorry. You're wrong. This is wrongful imprisonment. This is wrong. I'm on 3 body cameras right now. I have lived in the same place 13 years.
It's not wrongful It's not.
Well, here's the deal.
We have reasonable suspicion.
If he says it's you, by chance they say it's you, right? And you go to jail and everything, and then come to find out that person lied and put you in jail, they get charged.
Pants off them. I'm going to sue the pants off
Yeah, you can
them.
sue them, and they also get charges for perjury.
That's great. I'm looking forward to bringing that at them.
The witness pointed and said it. That's him, 100%. Just like that, Jerry was no longer detained. He was under arrest. No hesitation, no second look, just blind trust and a shaky ID under pressure. The officer didn't pause to ask how certain 100% really was. She heard what she wanted and locked it in.
Look forward to bringing that. Would you prefer I sit down somewhere so I don't run off when you got
Well,
your
they're
arm
about
on me?
to.
Okay,
I'm not afraid of you running away from me. We're waiting.
Alrighty, so here they are. Let me know if you need. Is that?
That's him.
That's him?
That's him.
Okay. 100%?
1,000%.
100% ID. 100%.
Alrighty, you're not going to be under arrest, okay? So we're going to go to that first car over there.
I could be under arrest.
You're under arrest.
I'm under arrest?
Yes.
Jerry asked if he'd get a chance to defend himself, and the answer was silence. The officer blamed him for not identifying himself fast enough, as if that excused the mess they had made. She pretended they tried to work with him while cuffing him for a crime they hadn't even confirmed, and now they were bringing in the lead officer to make it official.
So just come over here. Keep going. We're going to stand right behind my car. Just be careful. Watch your step. All right. Do you have anything on you that's going to stick me, poke me, or stab me?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Do I get to say, get to defend myself in any way? When I go to, hold it, something's not right here.
Well, we were trying to work with you. You didn't want to identify yourself or anything.
I'm going to give you my ID number right now. This is beyond me. What's going on?
Can you hold this?
I don't get to speak that I've done anything incorrect.
So here's what we're gonna do. Is the officer, the primary officer, she's gonna come. She's gonna read you your rights and everything, and then you guys are gonna talk about it.
They admitted he had ID on him. They counted his cash. They even acknowledged his injury, but somehow he was still going for not identifying. The charge made no legal sense. It was just a convenient excuse to cover their tracks. They weren't trying to verify anything. They were trying to justify everything. And the further they pushed this lie, the more obvious it became they had arrested the wrong man.
You'll have your chance in order to explain your side of everything going on.
Sure.
Okay. The primary officer, she was the one that drove by with the person.
Just go ahead and take a
Sure.
shot.
Once
I'm
she's
stepping
done
into
dropping
this?
him
Yep.
off and
You're going to
everything,
sit in there?
Yeah.
I got a bad left knee right now. So.
And then just so I can count it, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, $9. Well, regardless, he's going to go for not identifying. But I mean, he got positive ID on him.
He got positive ID on him, but obviously we want to verify and make sure it's him. And we just.
They joked about finding a crotchety old guy, but somehow cuffed someone completely different and still pressed forward. The officer admitted she was confused, admitted he never gave the name Keith, and yet still made the arrest. Jerry stood there stunned, knowing he had nothing to do with this, but instead of releasing him, they read him his rights and prepared to interrogate.
The last thing we need is to find a crotchety old guy that matches the description perfectly, and then come to find out it's someone completely different.
Yeah, because I didn't tell him. Well, I asked him for his name several times, and he's like, "I'm not giving you that." And I was like, "Okay, Keith." And then he was like, kind of like in shock, like, "Okay."
Gotcha.
Because I'm not going to be the one taking you out to the jail or anything.
You're going to be taking me out to the jail tonight?
Well, so the other officer's going to ask you some questions, but as of right now, you are under arrest, so that will be the arrest.
What's going me? It doesn't help me to make any comments to you. I am so far removed from whatever you were doing that I am.
I got you. Well, they're going to ask you more questions when they get here.
Forward to it.
I got
It's
you.
going to be an interesting thing.
Do you understand these rights? With these rights in mind, are you willing to talk to me?
You get a conversation.
These cops accused him of throwing a brick with no evidence, no witness confirmation, and no clue where he had actually been. Jerry calmly explained he had just returned from dinner. That didn't fit their version. They didn't ask for proof, didn't check cameras, didn't even care. They just needed someone to blame. And by the time you hear how this ends, you'll wonder how these officers are still wearing a badge.
Are you willing to talk to me about what happened?
Yeah, nothing happened until I talked to you.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Is our communication system be through this window?
yes.
Okay, all right. I just need to understand what's happening.
Okay, so you being placed under arrest because you you threw a brick at, did you throw that brick in his car?
No.
You didn't throw a brick?
No.
Okay. What happened?
I have no idea. I just come from dinner, and you would probably have security cameras to show you finishing dinner at half wall about 6:30 to 7:30. He gets out, he stops me and goes, I don't even remember the series of things. Everything from what's her name, I didn't want to tell him.
They were so full of themselves, so convinced they had nailed it, that they didn't even care that the real Keith was still out there. Jerry stood there, offering his real name, calmly explaining everything, but they didn't notice. They were too busy getting the witness to write down a positive ID to notice. They just let the actual suspect walk free. And worse, they didn't care. Not even a little bit.
What is your name?
I'm sorry?
What is your name?
My name is John G. Nolan. I can give you my Florida driver's
Is that not the real
license number.
I don't think it
And
is.
no news.
Because you guys said that it was positive ID.
He said it was positive ID, but I don't. No, I don't.
Okay, so we're going to get your information, try to verify your name and everything. That's why we were trying to get your name to begin with.
No, I
So, yeah.
understood, but I was sitting here going, I didn't want to give you my name. I was walking home. I was 100 feet from my house, and I've lived there for 13 years.
I would call
and
10.
you shut me down
Yeah.
completely and put cuffs on me and the whole thing.
He said 100%, but now I.
Hello, this will be real quick. So all you're going to do is below where you signed here, just write down in there that you rode with, one of the officers in order to perform a show up, and then upon looking at the person that we had in custody, and you don't have to word it exactly like this, but upon looking at the person that we had in handcuffs, you were able to positively identify that person as the one who threw the brick at your car.
The officers didn't just take a statement, they dictated it. Word for word, they told the witness exactly how to describe the arrest, what to say, and how sure to sound. 100% without a doubt, they insisted over and over. It wasn't about the truth, it was about covering themselves. If this blew up later, they'd blame the witness for the misidentification. And that's the trick they've pulled before.
As long as that's accurate, I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to.
No,
force
you're
it.
not. I mean, you can't unsee it.
Yeah, right. But yeah, as long as you word it like that, and then we'll re-swear you to it, and then have you sign below that, and then we should be good. Yeah. So just say you rode with the officer to identify the person that we had in custody, and upon your viewing of them, you were able to confirm that was the same person that threw the brick at your car.
I said officer to identify. I rode with the officer to identify the person in handcuffs with the brick in my car.
And then the person you saw in handcuffs was like 100%, because he 100% without a doubt that was the guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can even word it like that, like 100% without a doubt that was the same person that.
They built a case with buzzwords and stretched logic. Deadly missiles sounded dramatic enough to sell it as a felony. Vandalism, sure, throw it on. Resisting, of course. Anything to make the arrest look justified. The officer spoke with confidence as if the outcome was clear, but none of it was about justice. And soon, that overconfidence is going to collapse under the weight of the truth.
So just so you're aware of what he's going to jail for tonight is, per state statute, there's a statute against throwing deadly missiles, which in that case would be a brick. It's a felony because, like I was saying earlier, if he missed through that brick and it went through the windshield, it could have caused you serious bodily harm. You veering off the road, crashing into a tree. You know what I mean? So we're hitting him with that charge. He's going to be charged with vandalism for the obvious intent to damage your property, and then he resisted us a little bit, so he's also going to jail for resisting.
I felt like shit when I heard him heard him screaming at at her when she first showed up, and I was like, when she pulled up, I was like, oh man. I already felt bad about calling.
No, it's all good. It's what we're here for, man. So just to let you know, he is definitely going to jail tonight, and he's got some pretty good charges tacked on to him. Okay.
These dirty cops who realized their badge won't save them after this mistake still took it all the way. After wrongfully arresting Jerry, despite him staying calm and simply asking questions, the police slapped him with a bogus resisting arrest charge. The driver who misidentified him signed a false statement, complicating any future report. Now Jerry is exploring legal options, and public support is growing. Hopefully Jerry will get the justice he deserves in the end. Now let's talk about what happened to Jiren on the night of August 31st of 2024. His daughter was pulled over for not having any local extortion plates, and when Jiren arrived to protect her property, he calmly sat in her car to stop it from being towed. That's when Sergeant Kevin Miller showed up. Jiren tried reasoning about property rights, and that's when things got ugly.
Stop the vehicle due to no license plate light.
How you doing, sir? How you doing? I'm Kevin Miller. I'm the sergeant with the sheriff's office. I just can't see that in here.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I just got in here. I didn't drive here.
Tell me what's
I came over here. We don't have to have license, registration, insurance. I've already won in court multiple times about this. And like I say, you cannot take property without reasonable cause of somebody committing a crime or damaging property. I have a few reasons why, but this has been proven in court. So,
where are you from?
I'm from here. I'm from here. Oh, I've been here my whole life. My whole life.
Where y'all headed to?
I don't like. They was headed back home.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Now, you said you won this in court already.
Yeah, I've already won this in court.
And how did you win?
Jiren stood his ground and spoke with clarity, not emotion. He referenced past court victories, explained constitutional protections, and even reminded the officer of the oath he swore to uphold. But none of that mattered to Sergeant Miller. He wasn't interested in law or logic, only control. The more Jiren explained, the more obvious it became that Miller wasn't just ignoring the Constitution, he was actively trying to undermine it.
I represented myself. I represent myself, and I have proven case law. I already have case law in my name that I've already won. With no license, no registration, no insurance.
Or what do I call you?
You can call me whatever you want to. I do have a name. My name is Jiren Wright. I have nothing to hide.
I just call you Mr. Wright.
All right.
So if you won in court, right?
Yeah.
You understand the legal process, right? You understand.
Well, you can't take. I'm saying if you take it now.
First. I just
all right.
talk,
all right. All right.
You understand. You may not believe in it, or you may not.
It ain't that I believe. I can prove it. It ain't that I believe. I can prove it.
You may not be subject to it, right?
I prove it.
But that is something that we work out in court.
No, we don't. Because the judge didn't even show up for me the last time. You know that much? He or she didn't even show up. And I came in to prove it. And I proved it then, and I proved it multiple times. But if you take it, that just means I'm going to sue you.
1,000%.
I'm just reaching my briefcase. I've already got a lawsuit against. I've already got a lawsuit against the East Baton Rouge Parish, and I hate to take money from y'all, from our city and our taxpayers, but it's not right. You can't. But it shouldn't escalate because I'm telling y'all about case law. I'm telling you about the Constitution that you took an oath to.
Jiren wasn't resisting, he was exhausted. He knew the law, quoted it clearly, and still watched officers pretend they didn't hear a word. Sergeant Miller spoke like procedure was permission, like towing someone's property without a warrant was just doing his job. But hiding behind policy doesn't make the act lawful, it just makes it cowardly. And when the Constitution becomes an inconvenience to police, corruption is operational.
If I'm right, 1,000%, that means you should know that you can't take this property without a warrant by a Supreme Court judge. You should know that. Okay. Y'all should know that. But y'all don't.
But understand there are ways that it can.
And us having a conversation is one way.
That's all that they're doing. They're doing their job.
They not doing, but they doing it unconstitutionally.
But that's
Pelletier right there.
That's something you have to sue them about. That's something you can fight in court.
You're right, but I don't want. I'm tired of fighting. I try to explain.
Jiren explained that towing the car would force a lawsuit, the kind officers always pretend they want to avoid, but instead of listening, they clung to statutes and codes like they were divine commandments. It's always revealing when cops ignore the Constitution, yet suddenly become scholars of DMV policy. If towing property without a crime is your job is theft, right?
I tried to explain to y'all before we got to go to court, because once we go to court, it's all the way. Okay. It's all the way there. Like, I got to sue y'all because that's the only way people really understand.
And you can bill us for your time and everything for his interaction.
No, but we don't want to go through that. I don't want to go through that.
Tow truck?
I don't want to go through that.
It's going to get towed tonight.
It's not going to get. It should not get towed. Why would it be towed?
Because
statutes and codes do not apply. Statutes and codes do not apply. We only talking about constitutional law. Statutes and codes do not apply.
All right. But you understand you're operating on.
No, I'm not. I'm traveling. I'm traveling. Okay. You know, y'all. They use the terms different. No, travel is travel by any means necessary. Whether you go in whatever country you want to go to, traveling is totally different. And this is the commercial. Like, y'all in the commercial zone. If I was in the commercial, I'm telling you what's right. Well, that's why.
Because it's getting towed.
The officer whispered that it was getting towed, like secrecy would make it legal. Jiren asked for a warrant, as is required by law, and was told there were a lot of exceptions. That's cops being for we do what we want. No probable cause, no judicial oversight, just blind authority and a business card. When the Constitution becomes optional and accountability becomes a joke, arrest becomes inevitable.
Why? Do you have a warrant? Do you have a warrant for it?
I don't need a warrant.
Yes, you do. You do need a warrant for it.
There's a lot of exceptions to which
well,
you need a warrant.
Can I get your information to supervise? You're a supervisor or something?
One of them, and I can give you one of my cards with my name.
Man, all of this is just don't make no sense. Like, I'm telling you. Why should you don't understand?
I do understand.
No, you don't. I can show you. I showed the last guy.
These guys
I can show you, and y'all don't even care. Y'all know y'all public servants.
Absolutely.
Right. Y'all public servants.
So we're serving all these people that get in accidents and can't
get an accident. And I'm gonna tell you,
because cars on the road with no insurance.
No. Name an accident that I got into.
12 cops swarmed one peaceful man like he was smuggling a body in the trunk. Not a weapon in sight, not a threat made, just a guy trying to protect what's his. But that's all it takes these days. They treated him like a criminal for daring to question them, and none of them looked confused. This wasn't a mistake. This was their routine.
Under duress, right?
Under duress.
Under duress. That's the only reason why I'm gonna get out of the car. So you forcing me to get out of the car, or you gonna arrest me?
Yes, sir.
Y'all some motherfuckers, man. Y'all some motherfuckers, bro. You know what I'm saying? All of this shit is illegal, unconstitutional, and y'all all gonna learn. All of y'all gonna learn. It shouldn't take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people out here. And none of y'all abide by the Constitution. Not one of y'all. None of y'all abide by the Constitution. And y'all expect us to continue going through life like this, and y'all know this shit too much. Y'all all know this shit is false, fake, and unconstitutional. Y'all statutes and codes do not apply. Do not apply. And every last one of y'all gonna learn. And you can sit there and look at me like I don't know what I'm talking about, but I swear I do.
Jiren was pouring out everything, talking about rights, laws, and justice, and all they could do was grin like they were watching a comedy. Not one of them stopped to wonder why a man would fight so hard just to be heard. When authority turns indifferent and starts laughing at the pain, it stops being enforcement and becomes cruelty in uniform.
Under the universal law, I apply, and I will apply to every last one of y'all. Every last one of y'all. This shit don't make no sense. None. None of y'all even know about law. None of y'all. None of y'all, not even you. You just abide by the rules that they tell you to do. And then y'all sit there and laugh like this shit funny. Because this shit not. It's not funny. It's not fucking funny, man. Hey, baby, don't say nothing to them. I got it.
I ain't even talking
All we gonna have to do is sue, just like James Pelletier, Jason Pelletier. You take the money from the taxpayers.
They weren't ready for someone like Jiren. They were used to compliance, not confrontation. Used to people folding under pressure, not throwing the truth back in their faces with that kind of force. You could see it, the uneasy glances, the forced silence. He shattered their illusion of authority by just knowing what they didn't. And that's what shook them the most. Not his anger, but the fact he wasn't afraid.
All of y'all motherfuckers,
Do you have everything you need?
Yeah.
Did you tell Summers and all that already?
And then act like the statutes and codes apply to everybody that don't even apply to y'all. Y'all are in the commercial status. I ain't in the commercial status. I am a private goddamn citizen. Private. That means y'all can't do none of this. And then I try to explain it to y'all twice and you don't fucking listen.
They smiled like they were above it all, but they weren't. Under those uniforms were the same fragile egos, only backed by tasers and sidearms. Jiren reminded them they bleed like everyone else, and they hated that. Not one of them dared engage his words. Instead, they reached for their weapons, not arguments. Because when someone forces you to face what you become, silence and violence are the only shields left.
And y'all just sit there and smile and look crazy and ignore people like us. But we are the actual citizens. When you take off that uniform, you just like me. And matter of fact, you're supposed to abide by the Constitution more because you wear the uniform. All of y'all supposed to do that. But instead of listening, y'all pull out the taser, tase people, hold them at gunpoint. Y'all do all of the too much shit. Shit don't matter, man. Bullshit. Hope I wake up the whole block because everybody got rights. Everybody got rights. It don't matter what color you are. You got rights to travel by any means necessary. The pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is a real thing. And I'm going to stand up for it.
Jiren hit the breaking point, not because he was weak, but because he was the only one on the street actually feeling anything. He was surrounded by stone-faced enforcers who saw his pain as noise. This wasn't about his car anymore. This was about years of being trampled, taxed, and ignored. And still, the only thing the cops responded to was their cue to walk away like nothing happened.
You ain't gonna just take people's shit whenever you feel like it. You cowards. All of y'all cowards. You cowards. You cowards. You cowards. I'm so sick of this shit. You work your ass off every day for people to take your shit and they don't even deserve it. How long y'all gonna let this shit go on? Huh? Y'all just gonna stand there and look crazy? Y'all gonna continue to follow the rules?
We good? Let's roll. We done.
Every last one of y'all. That's why I ride by people. None of y'all mean shit because y'all don't abide by the Constitution.
He came and got in the car.
The officers may have fled the scene to avoid accountability, but they didn't escape exposure. Footage of the incident quickly spread across social media, turning them into a viral example of how exactly police shouldn't behave. While no charges have been filed against them yet, the internet doesn't forget. So what punishment do you think these officers deserve? Drop it in comments. And now let's move on to the next case. On November 28th, Sergeant Davis stopped a female driver who had a small child in the car. He claimed the reason for the stop was speeding. However, it became clear that this was just a first excuse that came to his mind. The real reason was boredom. But the situation quickly spirals out of control when the officer realizes that this woman knows the law better than he does.
Hello. Hello. I'm Officer Davis from Marshall Police Department. The reason I pulled you over, you're speeding.
I was going 45, sir. I had my
I believe you were going 45. Actually, I had you at 54 and a 35.
It says 45 on the plate.
Nope, you passed about 2 or 3.
Are you just pulling over?
You can go ahead ahead and just drop the attitude?
You could drop the attitude. That's really rude.
Okay, that's great. Just go ahead and give me your driver's license.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Yep, and I'll just scratch your ticket and you can get out of here.
Great. I would appreciate it. I'm a local, so you should probably not be so rude to because
That's
I
great.
California plates. I know, that's great.
If you're local, I thought maybe you'd know the speed limit sign.
The moment she didn't cower, the mask slipped. Davis went from smug to spiteful in seconds, like her calm confidence was some kind of personal insult. He wasn't enforcing the law, he was defending his ego. She asked for a camera, and he pretended to agree like it was a game, not evidence. But the real game was already over. The moment she stood her ground, he decided she had to be punished for it.
I do know the speed limit sign, and I was on the speed limit, sir. This has an extension on it, so the paper copy is somewhere.
But you don't have it on you?
I do have it on me somewhere.
Okay. I'll take your registration and your
My registration is also in the back.
Are you going to keep interrupting me?
You want it?
I'm trying to do my job.
You want
right
me to turn
now?
on my video camera?
Yeah,
I will.
absolutely. Absolutely.
For sure.
I honor that.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
I would love it.
Yeah?
Yeah, so would my lawyer.
Great. Okay, terrific.
Yeah.
That's terrific. That's cool because I'm already recording all this. So.
Cool. So am I.
That's cool.
Yeah, cool.
But I do need your vehicle registration.
Cool. You
and
want to
your
dig in my
insurance.
trunk? Go
If you
ahead
don't
and run
get
it.
okay.
Go ahead and run it.
Okay.
Thank you. It's a good
Go ahead and hop out the car.
You can't hop me out of the car.
Yep. Get out of the car. Yes, get out of the car.
You can't.
Get out of the car.
Right. You can't make me get out
Nope.
of the car.
If you're gonna be like this,
you can't make me get out of the car.
I can't.
will call.
When a cop tells you he's dragging you out of your car because he doesn't like the conversation, he's not protecting anyone, he's throwing a tantrum in uniform. She hadn't broken a law, she'd bruised his pride. And the moment she called 911 on the very man who claimed to serve and protect, his authority unraveled. Nothing threatens a bully more than a calm voice and a second opinion.
Another officer now.
Okay.
You will not make me get out of the car with my children in the car or pulling me over for speeding because you don't like my attitude.
No,
sir.
I'm gonna pull you over, or I'm gonna pull you out of the vehicle because I do not want to have this conversation in front of your children.
I don't care.
No, so
My
get out of the car.
children are here.
Get out of the car.
You can't touch my car.
No, not.
You cannot touch my car.
Okay, that's cool.
Call the cops.
Ma'am, I am a police officer.
I'm gonna call myself.
Sure. Can I get my
You can't open my car because you see California plates. Excuse me, sir. I'm calling 911. Thank you.
No.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am calling 911. 911's called.
Do you not?
I'm calling 911
No, you're
right
gonna
now.
get out of the vehicle.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm calling 911. Hi, could you please send me an officer?
No.
I'm on the side of the freeway and the officer's trying to open my door.
He shattered the glass like it was policy. With children in the back seat and a woman on the phone begging for help, he smashed his way in, not because she posed a threat, but because she wouldn't play along. This was about showing her who had control, and as her screams went ignored and her window exploded beside her kids, he had the nerve to say his sergeant was on the way.
And come in my car with my children. Please have someone come here right now.
Yeah.
You're on the side of the freeway. On the side of the overpass coming up to Bonner's Ferry.
Another vehicle here.
He's pulled me over because he says I was speeding. I was not, and he's refusing and trying to get me out of my vehicle with my minor children in my car, and I'm a woman.
Ma'am, do not roll the window.
Do not touch my car, sir. Do not touch my car,
You're
sir.
gonna be removed from the vehicle.
You're on 911.
You're gonna be removed from the vehicle.
You're gonna be fucking rude. You're gonna be removed from the
vehicle.
You're going to
be removed from the
He
vehicle.
just broke my window.
Do not.
He just broke my
Do
window.
not roll that window up.
He just broke my window. Somebody bring a cop here now.
Do not.
Now.
Open the door.
No. Now.
My sergeant's on his way.
Cool. And you're gonna bring. You just broke my window.
My sergeant's on his way.
You're going to be arrested, sir. You're going to be arrested.
After breaking her window, he had the audacity to lecture her about setting a bad example for her children. As if the trauma of watching a grown man in uniform violently invade their car wasn't enough, he tried to shame her for using profanity. It's always the same game: provoke, escalate, then blame the victim for reacting. And somehow, in his twisted view, the real problem was her language.
You're going to be arrested for resisting
No,
obstruction.
I'm calling Rex right now. You're f***ing dead. You're
I'm
gonna
dead?
yes, you're gonna be arrested for doing that. You're out of control.
Your son, is that your son over there?
It's my daughter.
Your daughter. Miss,
Do not even talk
Is there
to her.
any weapons inside the vehicle?
What?
To the best of your knowledge.
Weapons? No.
Is there any reason why your mother's acting like this?
Are you out of your mind?
Do you know there's any weapons in the vehicle at all?
Are you kidding me?
No knives or handguns? Okay.
You are really out of control.
So you're going to jail.
I'm not going to jail.
Yes, you're going
I'm calling Rex right now. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay.
Get out of here. You just broke my vehicle. You're going to pay for that, and I'm going to sue your ass.
I don't think your children would appreciate
you don't know.
if you keep cursing like that in front of your
Call
children.
Carolyn now.
944.
Call Carolyn and keep calling.
1042 is not available.
So my sergeant's en route.
He had already smashed her window, but that wasn't enough. Now he was tearing through her car like he was searching for justification he never had. She told him he'd made a huge mistake, and he responded like a schoolyard bully by doubling down. The threats, the sarcasm, the smug, that's fine, of all of it, masking the truth. He lost control. Now he's trying to bury it under the wreckage.
Cool.
And you will be getting booked for resisting truck.
Cool. There's nothing.
Do you have anybody that's going to come pick up your children?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it because you're going to be in big trouble.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Your call has been forwarded. Are you calling her?
And tell her to get Rex on the phone now. And then call you back. You're what you just did, you're in serious trouble. Hey, a cop just broke my windshield trying to get into my vehicle, and now he's trying to arrest me, and he's ripping my vehicle. He's ripping my fucking cop, Andre.
What do you mean ripping your car?
Yeah, he's ripping my car.
Okay.
At this point, he wasn't making an arrest. He was staging a personal meltdown inside someone else's car. He reached through broken glass with her children watching, still pretending this was about speeding. What those kids saw won't leave them. A stranger with a badge destroying their mother's car and grabbing at her like property. And the reason? She had the nerve to speak to him without fear in her voice.
So that's
He's ripping my car.
Don't pull your hands away from me.
Do not touch me, sir. Do not touch me, sir. Do not touch me. Do not touch me.
Okay?
Do not touch me. No, the girls are in the kids are in the car. This guy's fucking reaching through my car and broke my windshield because he said I was speeding because he didn't like my attitude.
So she kept trying to roll her window up.
Can you call Rex right now? Call Rex.
She's got her children. I'm trying to
call Rex. He just broke my window. Can you remove him from my car right now?
Open your location.
I'm sending my location. I am calling Carolyn. I'm calling the attorney.
Don't go anywhere.
You're dead meat, dude. You cannot do that. And my children just witnessed it.
So.
My children just witnessed what you did, dude.
Okay. Well, I told you not to roll up the window.
Because you didn't like my attitude because I said I wasn't speeding.
He kept barking, "Get out of the car," like repetition could magically create probable cause. She said no, calmly, firmly, and that's when his threats got theatrical. "Don't do this in front of your children," he warned, as if he wasn't the one who smashed their window and lunged into the cabin. Can you believe it?
No, I explained to you to get out of the vehicle.
Here. You can't ask me to get out of the car. You don't have probable cause for that.
I do.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
And is trying to move off of the car because she was speeding and didn't like that.
Can you tell them to get up here now and get Rex on the phone? Get Rex Finney on the phone now.
Take a breath.
No, you take a breath. Leave my car.
No.
You literally just broke into my car and came after me and physically tried to remove me from my vehicle.
If you don't get out of the vehicle,
I'm gonna sue you.
That's fine.
With my children.
If you don't get out of the vehicle,
no, I'm not getting
you're going to get removed.
You're going to get out of the way.
You're going to get removed.
I have a right to not remove from my vehicle.
Do not do this in front of your children.
I don't have to be removed from my vehicle. Please get the cops here. What are they doing, Eugene?
Bigger battles.
This all started over speeding. Not a felony, not a chase, just a traffic infraction. At worst, she was going 10 miles over the limit. This kind of thing most drivers get a warning for. And yet here she was, calling for help with her window shattered, her kids crying in the back seat, and a cop threatening force. If this is how they handle a ticket, imagine what they'd do if they were serious.
Going forward
get Rex Finney here.
Obstruct delay and
that'd be threats too. I'm dead. She said I'm dead.
I said you are literally losing your mind.
Right here is.
I can't wait for Rex.
The reason for your stop.
Okay.
Eugene, you need to come to Bonner's Ferry right now.
Okay.
Right now. We're doing the
So I can release her on a. She's not going to sign the citation. Okay. Serve it to her. Okay. So I can release her on
I am. They want to remove me.
Okay.
Come right now, you team.
We've got an infraction violation.
Sure.
We go use of force. We're going to end up with a felony.
Yeah.
And we don't need that. So let's just write a couple citations, get it down the road.
Okay. And then, okay. All right.
In the end, after everything, shattered glass, threats, screaming kids, she got a citation for speeding and resisting, of course, because refusing to be dragged out from your car without cause is now a crime too. The officer actually told her to drive safe on the way out as if this hadn't been an act of madness. There's a terrifying part. To him, this wasn't an overreaction. It was just another traffic stop.
I want her vehicle information. She doesn't give it to me yet.
Get it from dispatch.
Okay.
I just called for one. I called for one.
Okay, have you calmed down a little bit?
Go away
Listen
from
to
me.
what I'm going to
I
explain to you.
called
This is
all
about you.
people.
So this is your citation for speeding right here. That's your citation for speeding.
So
okay.
much.
This one is a resist obstruct. You're not going to jail today. This is.
Of course I'm not. Do you see this?
This is as good as going to jail. This is as good as going to jail.
Police brutality. You're the same people that looked at
sign right there.
No, let me tell you something, sir. You full on went after my car last night with my friends in it. You saw a Range Rover and you came after me thinking I was somebody else. You're going down, sir.
As good as called a cite and release arrest.
No,
this
you're
is
done.
as good as
I'm not moving,
so
and
if
I'm
you
going to
do
be
not,
photographed.
you're going to have a court appearance. If you don't appear, you're going to have a warrant. You will have a warrant, okay?
Before we get into the rest of this absurdly crazy case, I want to ask you, have you ever encountered a police officer like this one? If so, tell us in the comments how you reacted and how it ended. Now let's get into the bizarre rest of the evening.
Goodbye.
Drive safe.
Get away from
Slow
my
down.
car.
Slow down.
No, you. Goodbye.
And then your driver's license, and then.
Give me my paper.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Get out of my life.
Move along, ma'am.
Letting him do what he just did. I'm bleeding the fire
you're free to
department.
go.
Everybody's coming here.
Go ahead and
You're
move along.
gonna be arrested. I'm coming after you, and I'm gonna have you arrested.
He handed back her license like nothing had happened, like dad had just smashed her window and terrified her children over a ticket. God bless, he said, the final insult layered in fake civility. That's how it ends. No arrest, no apology, no paperwork that reflects the chaos, just a smirking goodbye and a shattered family driving off in silence. If you think this case was bad, wait until you see what's coming in our next video. Just when it seems like police misconduct can't get any worse, another story proves us wrong. Don't miss it.